Now to the very latest developments in the hotel explosion in downtown Fort Worth. Fire investigators have deemed the area safe from any further danger, but the street is still blocked off around that hotel. They also say those roadblocks will stay up at least through the end of the week.
Hotel guests can pick up their belongings again later this morning at 7 a.m. at the Zipper Building on West 13th Street in downtown. We are live there at the scene this morning. This is a live look at the situation. Again, you see those blocked off streets, that equipment, the construction equipment there in the background. Investigators have said they found no evidence the explosion, which injured 21 people, was an intentional act. But experts tell NBC5 the investigation into what went wrong could take weeks, maybe months. We have live team coverage this morning tracking the impacts and the ongoing investigation. And we start with Ben Russell live in downtown Fort Worth near the scene of the explosion. Ben?
Deborah, Laura, there is a lot of cleanup to be done here. Some of it's happening as we speak, just around the corner back behind us. Much of what's happening is meant to just secure the building itself. In fact, we're told the fire department and others are going to start boarding the building up a little bit later this morning. As for what exactly happened here, the investigation into the explosion, as we just emphasized, at this point, investigators feel confident saying this was not intentional. No one did this, but that's only part of the puzzle. NBC5's interviewed multiple people who've been involved in investigations like this. They tell us every single natural gas connection in the Sandman Hotel is likely to be checked. Case in point, we saw Atmos out all day on Monday, even late into the night last night, at least on the outside of the building. Then, once that part of the investigation is done, once a cause is determined, the next question will be to establish fault.
Obviously, there was natural gas involved. We do not know if gas caused the explosion or the explosion caused the gas problem.
It can be a big job. Sometimes they're quite easy. Sometimes the problems are quite obvious, and sometimes the material has to be harvested and taken to a laboratory.
You know, it can be an appliance, it can be piping, it can be pipes on the Atmos end of the deal, pipes on the owner's end of the deal.
So clearly there is a lot to get to in a situation like this, and based on the extent of the damage to the hotel, answering those questions could take time. As we've said, as an example, parts of the first 2 floors of the hotel were so badly damaged that the floors of them quite literally dropped out and down into the basement below street level. So securing the building itself is one of the chief concerns at this point. Again, as we said, they're going to start boarding it up here in just a short while. The main question, the main concern downtown now has moved from beyond just making sure the building is safe to making sure what happened in that building isn't going to happen anywhere else. Live in Fort Worth, Ben Russell, NBC5.
Okay, Ben, thank you. Now we want to talk about the victims. The explosion that rocked downtown injured 21 people.
We know at least one of those people is still in critical condition this morning at Parkland Hospital in Dallas, and at least 2 others are being treated at JPS in Fort Worth. Our Evan Anderson continues our live team coverage this morning from our newsroom with a look, Evan, at how some people escaped that hotel after the blast.
Yeah, it really is a miracle no one lost their life. Deborah, Laura, good morning. So we talked to a man who was on the 21st floor at the time of this explosion. And this is cell phone video here of attorney Mark Montgomery stuck on a blown out 2nd floor. Montgomery had just checked into the Sandman Signature Hotel about 30 minutes before the explosion. He heard the blast, looked out of his window, and he saw smoke and debris rising. Fearing for his life, he tells us, Montgomery says he made his way down a pitch black stairwell, again from the 21st floor here, until he arrived to the 2nd floor. There he was helped down by a firefighter on a ladder.
And I get down, and I was so grateful. You know, it's like when people kiss the ground when they get to the land. Sometimes you go, I think I'm going to go play the lotto tomorrow or something, because I feel very fortunate.
Absolutely. Firefighters were able to bring to Montgomery his medication, a laptop that he left behind. Another person was also rescued by firefighters nearly 3 hours after the explosion, found trapped beneath debris. So indeed, a massive show of teamwork from Fort Worth first responders on Monday. Deborah Laura, back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you. 5:37 now, and this morning, new video showing the moment that explosion rocked downtown Fort Worth. This is the lobby of a law office that's right near that area. You can see it looks like the building is shaking. The lights are flickering. All of this happening across from the Sandman Signature Hotel. As we have been telling you, the fire chief says that portion of downtown could be shut down for days. People who live in downtown had a hard time getting back into their homes, and now they're worried about the lasting impacts this could have on the businesses in that area.
The bottom of my building is nothing but, businesses, and none of them are able to work today. So nobody's earning a paycheck right now.
Downtown Fort Worth Inc. is encouraging people to visit the businesses that are still open in the area. And city leaders are set to meet today to talk about the possibility that they need to have an alternative plan for the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo's All-Western Parade that is set to step off on Saturday in downtown. That parade route, as it stands right now, would be going right by the affected street. Organizers say in part the hope is that the parade will occur as planned while recognizing that the importance of the ongoing investigation of this incident and the need to ensure the safety of parade spectators and participants.